Licensed video games these days seem to keep reaching for higher and higher goals. Each of them want to be the most immersive experience in their respective universes. Be the Spider-Man, be a Jedi, be a high schooler. But what if you want something different than these focused narrative experiences? What if you wanted to experience these properties the way that you saw them on screen? Well, I hope you're ready to go back 20 years because the movie tie-in is long dead, unless you're able to snag a LEGO license. Luckily, AAA studios aren't the only people making video games. There were also other studios 20 years ago that made video games that still have active modding communities. What I am about to show you is a mod for a game that came out over 20 years ago, that turns it into one of the best Star Wars games of all time. This is Movie Duels, a mod for the 2003 classic Jedi Academy, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. And so much more. We're gonna start with a bit of a history lesson though. See, I've been around the Jedi Academy modding scene for quite a bit, in and out over time, like since I was 6 or 7 or something. This was the very first video game I learned how to mod at all. I remember logging into Jedi Knight 3 files religiously to see new uploads, and I definitely got a virus from downloading the absolute scam that was Knights of the Force. But amongst all of that, there was one mod that I kept coming back to. Back in 2009, Vector X released Movie Duels 2, and it was mind-blowing to me. It completely replaced the post-Return of the Jedi story of Jedi Academy with missions reflecting key moments from the prequels, and also some bonus Rise of the Empire missions. The mod was a hit, but Vector retired from modding soon after. Though not before giving his blessing to another modder, Jedi Will, to make Movie Duels the original trilogy. Which, yeah. And so, for a while, that was it for Movie Duels. A very well done mod that always felt half-finished. Until 2018, when a new team brought it back from the dead and loaded it with a new engine, higher quality models and textures, and not only that, they also continued the work. Today we're going to be taking a look at the newly remastered Movie Duels and all that it has to offer. First up, let's take a look at the meat of what Movie Duels is. Shockingly, it's playing Movie Duels. When you go to pick a mission, you'll see, well, every Star Wars property ever. Now the mod is still a work in progress, so not every fight you could ever want is included, but you can find missions from tons of different Star Wars media. Yes, even the ones you may not like so much. Once you decide on a mission, you pick a side and a difficulty and get sent off to duel your heart out. Each mission features full cutscenes as well in the classic Jedi Academy style. When it comes to gameplay, if you've ever played Jedi Outcast or Jedi Academy before, you're going to feel right at home here with all of your DFAs and your rolling stabs and your whatever this is. It's all still here, with some new force powers and lightsaber styles on occasion depending on who you're playing as. But if you're like me and you're looking for something new, Movie Duels offers its own reworked fighting system with manual blocking, kicking, fake attacking, and even more. There's actually 2 different levels of the new Movie Duels mode depending on how much of a change and challenge you're looking for. I'm personally a big fan of Movie Duels mode. It's a nice change of pace with its own learning curve, though if you are nostalgic for the fast-paced, jumping around, acrobatic Jedi Knight combat, then you can totally stick with that too. Now when it comes to the progression of the missions themselves, you just whack away at your opponent until the next cutscene plays, but honestly, in a lightsaber duel, what else do you really expect? Also, depending on who you pick, there are alternate endings for when you win, plus there are some missions that aren't even lightsaber duels, which offer up a nice change of pace as well. Speaking of a change of pace, missions aren't the only gameplay offered here. There's tons of other modes and content. There's the challenge modes, which have a series of escalating missions in both a light and dark side flavor. Defend Qui-Gon from droids, fight Ahsoka in the World Between Worlds, all sorts of fun stuff like that. I don't want to show off all the fights because there's some real bangers in there. Now, once again, the fun doesn't stop there, because there are also a few different round-based arenas which randomly pump out enemies for you to fight with boss rounds and everything. Some of them are just general arenas with random enemies, but some are more, let's just say, themed, and that's it.
Liar!
Okay, fine. There's also the extras, which include more what-if scenario type missions, like what if Anakin didn't kill Dooku and had to fight Palpatine? What if Obi-Wan got his wish and got to fight the Emperor instead of Anakin? What if Anakin did lava platform-based platforming? Again? And if this somehow isn't enough content for you, well, lucky you! There's also the Tales of the Galaxy mode, which gives you guessed it, even more fucking battles. The quantity here is insane. You can fight Vader as Anakin, as well as like every fight from The Force Unleashed. There's also what may be one of my favorite features, all of the battles from Dark Forces 2. If you haven't played Dark Forces 2, go play the first one and then play it. It's so good. And if you have played Dark Forces 2, play this. It's amazing to be able to revisit earlier moments from the Jedi Knight series in what ended up being its final entry. Speaking of the Jedi Knight series, you can also still play through all of Jedi Academy with all of these new enhancements, which is a great way to breathe new life into the campaign. And if you happen to own Jedi Outcast, you can also play that whole campaign within this game as well, which is insane to me. So if you too miss Kyle Katarn, between both campaigns and the Dark Forces 2 duels, you have a wealth of Kyle content to experience. Or you can like play through Jedi Outcast as Jar Jar Binks, whatever sounds more fun. But of course the part that I always come back for is the Sandbox aspect. The mod is full of maps and NPCs that you have full access to with whole specialized menus. There's even full customizability of the NPCs' weapons, force powers, lightsabers, even their behaviors and animations. There's nothing better than just picking a nice map and seeing if Ghost Mace Windu can take down 2 Darth Plagueuses. And Windu is 0 for 2 on Sith Lords. Or is that 0 for 3? Wait, did they fucking cut a ghost in half? The sky really is the limit here. I made a little battle royale on Camino just to see what would happen. My money was on Weekway, but I also apparently ended up participating and ended up being ganged up on, which isn't very fair. Seriously though, the tools that you're given with this mod are fantastic. You can assign animations to NPCs, change the camera. I mean, I got so bored one night that I did this.
Hey, yeah? You ever wonder why we're here? It's one of life's great mysteries, isn't it?
And other people are making things too. In their Discord, people post custom save files that are essentially custom missions for you to play through. And there's people on YouTube who make whole machinimas with this mod. It goes beyond what it set out to do in recreating scenes from the movies and lets people tell their own new stories in a Star Wars sandbox. And I think that's awesome, and why I needed to show it off. The team working on the mod also continually updates the community on new features and missions that they're working on in the Discord. A multiplayer mode is in the works, as well as the next Tales of the Galaxy season, which is Knights of the Old Republic, which I am super pumped for. I will always have a soft spot for Jedi Academy and mods like Movie Duels. I'm even considering making a video on another Jedi Academy mod called Movie Battles 2, which changes Jedi Academy's fast-paced lightsaber combat into like a class-based multiplayer shooter. Let me know if you want to see that. And next time that you're feeling in a Star Wars gaming mood, instead of being killed by hackers over and over again in Battlefront 2 or shelling out a bunch of money on Star Wars Fortnite skins, maybe head over to ModDB and give Movie Duels a shot. Please, it has Darth Jar Jar 2, I promise!